I don't want my daughter to have died alone, a horrible death with nobody knowing but him what happened to her. You take someone's life, they should be punished. However, that doesn't address the fact that even though they're being punished, there needs to be healing.
I don't want people to get away with it, you know? I don't want them to get off with just, you know, a couple car washes and everything's okay. I want them to really, I want to know that they, you know, have met their obligation and done right.
This particular case that we're working on currently, the kids were skitching. His buddy was holding on to his front window, driver's side window, and they were driving down the street. I don't know if he hit a bump or took a little turn and his friend fell off and he ended up running him over and killing him.
And having the traditional punishment, of course the student's gonna not know what he or she did wrong. And so this gives them a chance to focus on their positive.
Knowing that there's restorative justice available to you, it gives you more options. It helps you to look at people and say, okay, this is a serious crime. Are you a serious criminal? Well, then maybe it might not work for you. Or is this a serious crime, but I don't think you're a serious criminal? Then it's definitely a good program to send the people through.
Not every individual is going to want to do it. Not every case is going to want to be involved in restorative justice, the Cadillac version, the circle, but are there other practices? Are there other ways in which we can begin as a system, begin to repair some of that harm?
A crime that happens affects, of course, the immediate victims and then their families, their friends, and it spreads out and ripples so that it affects the whole of society. And restorative justice aims at trying to repair the fabric of society that, to use a different analogy, has been somewhat torn by this crime. And to me, it's a very powerful concept, and when it works, it has results that are far beyond just the retribution sense that the incarceration can offer.
Through a restorative justice lens or approach, what we're looking at is what was the harm, what was the impact, who was impacted. Specifically, you know, was there a primary victim? Was the community impacted? And then it's going to look at whose obligation is it to repair that harm.
When I went into this, I thought this was like some program that was just going to slap these guys on the back of the hand and let them go. But as soon as it started, I realized this was not the case, because it's hard to stand up to someone that you've done wrong to and look them in the eye and say, I'm sorry for what I did and how it affected you.
I would define it as righting a wrong. On whatever level it can be righted. You know, whatever level that person can correct the mistake to the satisfaction of the person who's been harmed.
You know, it's not a lawyer stopping everything right when you want to tell them how you feel. You know, you're able to get mad and you try not to get so mad you can't talk, but you want to let them know what happened. It's good to be able to face the person that wronged you and tell them how it affected you, and then have them, you know, tell you how sorry they were to do it. When you come face to face with the person that wronged you and they explain to you what they were thinking and why they did it and what they've learned from it, then that's what you wanted.
93% of the people who go to prison are released. They come back unrepentant, they come back unrehabilitated, and they come back unprepared to return to the communities from which they came. In the restorative justice system, a person who successfully completes that process, their chances of reoffending is less than 1 in 10.
Restorative justice definitely helps me do my job better and accomplish my goals, because it really does lead into everything that we believe in as educators. It really fits with what dedicated educators believe in. I mean, that's why we're all in education, because we believe in kids and we want to help them to be their best.
Results at Skinner Middle School, we had over a 70 to 80% reduction in suspensions in the very first year. Does restorative justice save schools money? Absolutely. You have a choice: educate or incarcerate. Those are your two choices. I mean, it's that simple. I get that. Mr. Warren gets that. So you either educate or incarcerate. Those are your two choices.
What's the going rate for a prisoner?
Going rate for a prisoner, what, 30 to 40 grand a year for incarceration versus 9,000 per pupil? So, yeah, that's easy. You know, you either educate or you incarcerate. Those are your two choices. So.
Restorative justice, to me, has the potential for a different way of looking at problems and resolving the issues.
It's powerful in these meetings. You see the full range of emotion, both victim and the people who did wrong.
The criminal justice system is needed. It does work. But in order to reduce crime overall, I believe statewide, we need to increase our use of restorative justice because of the impacts that it makes, what I believe the future criminals it takes out of the system.